You tuned in to the 7-Day Theory. Hard body, hard spirit. What up, my people? Hard body, hard spirit. Check this. This Nolan Wells case is getting more scarier by the day. Each day, more evidence comes out that just confirms our suspicion that this was not no accident. Somebody did something to Nolan Wells. And everybody is pointing the finger at everybody else. Listen to what Ben Crump had to say. Ben Crump is on the case. Listen to him.
You mentioned earlier there are some contradictions.
Yes.
What gives you confidence or perhaps concern about the investigation so far?
Well, the fact that they continue to tell the family that we don't see any evidence of any foul play, even though you have students who recorded an altercation while they were on the boats of argument where you had Nolan and somebody yelling at one another on the boat. So that's an issue. And then you have the young lady make a statement and she says, well, Nolan and I finished talking and Nolan said he was going back to the boat. And then the boys on the boat said, no, Nolan told them he was going to stay with her. And so they are conflicting. She's saying he went and got on the boat. They saying he didn't get on the boat. So which is it? And all we know is Nolan is dead.
Nolan went to that island with Eric, Wyatt, and Warren. Now Warren, his mother is a sitting judge. These are powerful people that have reason to cover things up and would know how and would have the connections to do this. The kids, the boys he came with, Eric, Wyatt, Warren, they're all saying at 3 o'clock, we told Nolan, hey, are you leaving? We're about to leave. Are you coming with us? And he said, no, I'm about to stay and talk to Katie and hang with Katie. This was a female he was talking to that he had met on the island that he was talking to. Okay, cool. But they don't leave until 4:30. So you've seen him at 3, but y'all didn't leave till an hour and a half later. That don't make sense to me off rip. If the last time you seen him was at 3. Then Katie says, we cut our conversation short because he told me he had to go get on the boat to leave with his friends. And guess what time that was? 3 o'clock. You see where I'm getting at here? Everybody is passing the buck. Oh, he said that he was going over there. Okay, let's talk to that person. Oh no, they said they was going over there. We're running in circles. Somebody is lying. Katie is the name of the female he was talking to that said, no, we had to cut our conversation short so he can go back with his friends and get back on the boat so he could leave with his friends. And then his phone was left on the boat.
As far as we know, his mother, Christine, and his father, Elmo, say they haven't gotten any answers. They, have been asked to turn over his cell phone to the Mississippi law enforcement authorities. But even that is troubling to them because they're saying messages that were deleted from his cell phone. So they want to try to dot every I and cross every T and investigate everything. They said it's very improbable that Nolan would not have wanted his cell phone with him if he was going to stay on the island.
Mm-hmm. The deleted text messages on his phone, his parents found that? Who found that out?
No, well, they got his phone, so they're trying to figure out there's deletions on the phone, and they're trying to look at what is that about. There's so many inconsistencies going on, and so we're going to have, with our investigators and our associates, we're going to list all the inconsistencies down. We just got onto the case yesterday, so we have been staying up late with the family, talking to friends, talking to people who were there on that 4th of July, trying to piece together what really happened to Nolan Wells.
And now his mom then came out and said, my son is just like any other teenager, any other adult. Your phone stays with you. Your phone is going to stay with. She said, my son, if he was on the island, he would have been taking that phone with him on the island. He wouldn't have left it on the boat. And especially if Nolan knew that they were leaving and he didn't grab his phone, huh? Wait, what? I'm not even, look, and the police are trying to cut this shit short. They are trying to close this case out quick as hell, as fast as they can, right? Talking about they don't see no evidence of foul play. What? I'm not even a police. I'm not no detective, and I could tell that something ain't adding up in this case. This ain't no open and shut case of, oh, it was an accident. No, y'all ain't even do an autopsy yet. So how you know if it was an accident or not? But they found the phone on the boat, which really makes me believe that he left on that boat with his friends, back with his friends, and something happened. Because you're not going to leave wherever your phone is at. Most likely that's probably where the last place he was at, because his phone was there. And then on top of that, they get the phone back. The parents get the phone back, and they can tell that there have been deleted messages on the phone. It's coming from Ben Crump. Ben Crump is on the case. This is day 2 that he's been on the case. Yesterday was one day. This is day 2. And also, there was reports that Wyatt, Eric, and Warren, before he was even found, somebody seen them out eating or something, and they were asked the question like, "Hey, why ain't y'all looking for Nolan?" They were out to eat, and they said, "For what? Y'all already think we did it anyway." Now this was before we even got reports that he had been found, that his body was found. He was just missing at that point. So how is you saying that they already think they did it? People think they did it, but his body wasn't even found yet. It don't make sense. It's got cover up written all over it. And I said I want to know what the autopsy report says or what it finds, because that's really going to determine whether foul play was whether this was murder or an accident, right? If he had if he had blunt force trauma, if he was strangled, stuff like that, it's gonna come out in the autopsy report. And shout out to Ben Crump, because they are not letting the police do their own autopsy. His body is getting flown to a certain spot that Ben Crump and his team are going to do their own independent autopsy.
On to a medical examiner in Washington, D.C., where his body will be preserved to do an autopsy to study every aspect of if he had any physical injuries to his body beyond drowning.
Mm-hmm. And where are you in that process now?
The body is going to be flown today. We expect to have the results of that independent autopsy.
So I don't know how long that's going to take, but as soon as that report comes in, I'm going to update y'all on that. And then another key piece of information came out yesterday. And it was actually recorded. I'm not putting the video on here because you can't even see nothing. You can barely see anything. But there's a recording. And in that recording, and the reports and people have said this, Nolan got into an argument, a verbal altercation, an argument with somebody on a boat. Right? How did the police figure there's no foul play involved? There's nothing wrong here, but hours or minutes before he gets unalived, he's having a verbal altercation, an argument with somebody. That's a key piece of information. They should be asking, Who was the argument with, right? When was it? Where was it? Who was it with? We need to know all that. That matters, because we got a 18-year-old that's dead, that his body washed on shore, which really tells me that he was out either a little bit further from the shore or out deep in the water. Because if you're already on the island, you can't. He was in the water, or else he wouldn't have washed up shore. They would have found his body on the island. So he was out in that water. He got on a boat with somebody. Somebody knows exactly where and what happened to Nolan, because he was on a boat, and most likely he was on the boat that he came in with. Eric, Wyatt, and Warren. Once again, Warren, his mother is a sitting judge. A sitting judge. This shit getting scary, y'all. Like, and look, this ain't. I'm not gonna sit here and act like this type of shit don't happen. We have cases of this happen. One, I forget, they did a documentary on the one kid. He literally got murdered at school, inside school, in his gymnasium. He was found inside, like, he was inside these big mats, these big rolling mats that can fit a human body. He was stuffed inside of that. And then all of a sudden, cameras, certain times started being deleted, and the kid that he was into it with, I think he was either a police officer, or he had a job at the school. Straight covered that up. I can't remember the kid's name, but a straight cover up. When it comes to us, because these people hold certain positions and can manipulate certain things because they have these positions of power. When it comes to us to try to protect their kids from the sins that they enacted, right? Trying to save their kid from not going to jail like they deserve to if they murder somebody. So instead of letting the justice system hold their kids accountable, they will cover it up. This is not the first instance of this when it comes to us, especially. Crazy. Yeah. I want to see what the autopsy report says. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, though. Like, share, subscribe. 7-day. We got memberships, $1.99 a month. If you do sign up for the membership, I will shout your name out in every video. Shout out to John Paul. Keep your head up and your eyes open. I'm out.
You're now listening to the 7-day.